Welcome everyone, thank you for joining us. Today we have with us Mr. Paul Jerome, our City Administrator. Thank you for joining us, Paul.
Thanks for letting me come talk to you today.
So obviously there's always a lot going on in the city of Eagle Mountain.
There is.
But maybe a couple of subjects that we want to address today are, well, roads for one. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's happening with roads, what some of the updates are, what our current plans are?
Yeah, so we just completed last fall Pony Express Parkway, the expansion down to the roundabout, minus a few little spots where we had to wait for Rocky Mountain Power to move some power boxes, so that'll be finished here shortly. But we've got some projects planned in the near future this calendar year, and that is expanding Eagle Mountain Boulevard from the roundabout at Pony Express up to Aviator Avenue, and that will entail a new traffic signal at the intersection of Eagle Mountain Boulevard and Pony Express Parkway.
Where the roundabout
is currently. That was something that was adequate for our traffic patterns years ago, but not so much anymore. So that needs to change, obviously.
And that will help that traffic flow north and south on Pony Express, especially once, like as you mentioned, later in the month, we get the light at Bobby Wren.
Right. Yeah, and that one's coming. It's been delayed, but they're working on putting lines in the ground right now for that to get that set up. All the materials have already been ordered for that, so that should be done here, I'm hoping, in the next month or two, at two being the most. But yeah, then that will actually help with some of the accesses from the side streets, certainly.
So we'll see the expansions over this next construction period, right through the summer? Is that right?
Yep. One of the other things we're doing as well is we want to punch Mid-Valley Road through to Eagle Mountain Boulevard from where it ends just west of Frontier Middle School. And that will also entail putting another lane on the south side of what looks like the edge of the road, but really the median there between.
Right there next to the park?
Yep, exactly. So that will be on for this construction season as well. And I know a lot of people want to know about Airport Road. We've submitted for funding.
Old Airport Road?
Old Airport Road, thank you, yes, Old Airport Road. So we've submitted funding from Mountain Land Association of Governments, MAG, through UDOT to get funding for that. So if we're awarded that, we can't start before we get that award. So if we do, then they think, okay, you don't need it. So we are anticipating that we will find out if we get that award by the end of the summer. And if we do, then we can begin the grub work, so the kind of the groundwork on that road this fall, and then we'll pave early in the next paving season in 2023.
Well, this is really interesting because really a project isn't really a project until it's funded. It's just kind of on a wish list, right? So, and obviously we want to get as much mileage out of every dollar in the city that we can. And so taking advantage of every funding opportunity is critical to us moving forward. Exactly.
Airport Road itself will be $7 to $8 million. Now we're going to have to bond for all of it. Eagle Mountain Boulevard, Mid-Valley Road, and Airport Road. And that will be to the tune of maybe an $18 million sales tax bond. So it doesn't entail a rate increase for property tax for the residents. Won't entail even a sales tax increase. We'll just pledge that as revenues to be able to pay that bond off. But if we can get this other funding source through MAG, then we can pay down that bond a lot faster.
So yeah, so that's really interesting. So to put it in perspective, if we were to fund Old Airport Road as a city alone, then that would pretty much eliminate or bump the Eagle Mountain Boulevard expansion for several years. Where this way we can get both of them done, within 2 years, at least, year and a half, 2 years, right? So without an increased tax burden on our residents.
Right, and it's certainly being able to pay that off, that portion of the bond off sooner, then we can release some of our bonding capacity for other projects in the future as well, roads or otherwise.
That's great, yeah. So it opens up the door to the other projects that we know are coming, maybe haven't been fully determined. We have a long list, of course.
Forever and always.
Right. And then we get those get better east-west connections, as you
Right.
mentioned, with Mid Valley, and ultimately connecting more with 73. And of course, 73 is a whole other conversation
Yes, it
to
is.
be had. So
Right.
we'll look forward to those updates and those conversations on 73. And of course, the area that we're talking about is a big growth area, not only residentially, but in economic development. Can you tell us a little bit about what we can expect there on the economic development side?
Yeah, so it does open that connection between Pony Express Parkway and Eagle Mountain Boulevard, and a lot of that area, east of Eagle Mountain Boulevard, but north of where the residential development is right now, is slated to be commercial or business park, that kind of thing. And certainly, economic development is a very big focus of ours. We know we're not in the same kind of situation that Saratoga Springs is in. We feed their commercial. That's why they're getting so much more retail and commercial than we are, because it's all about traffic patterns, and we don't have pass-through like we create for Saratoga Springs. So that's why we're basically their economic development strategy is Eagle
We
Mountain.
are. Our population growth is, as you mentioned, their strategy. So this then ties together the importance of the industrial side, economic development, and those roads, because those things together really then stimulate that retail commercial segment.
Right. I mean, our focus has been on landing big companies like Facebook, Tyson, Google. They are highly incentivized. That's how you get those projects here. So the big return on that investment will be in the future, but it will help the city when it really needs that. In the meantime, growth is what's feeding a lot of our ability to do some of these things that we're doing as far as roads go. But we're playing to our strengths with attracting these companies. We have a lot of land, and we may not have the foot traffic or the driving patterns that Saratoga Springs has, and so we can't get quite the same retail that they get. But we also have a lot of land that they don't have, and that's why we've attracted these companies. Is we played to that strength. And to put it in perspective, once Facebook is all built out, the value of their investment will be greater than the entire city combined from a value standpoint and a property tax standpoint. And again, like I said, they're highly incentivized right now. That's how you land these. But eventually those incentives will expire.
And that is one thing that's really exciting and an important part of our economic development plan is not only do these companies bring fairly immediate impact in really creating a more, stronger economic environment for the retail, but the investment for the future is really amazing. The value that they will bring over the next 20 years you can't compare that to anything that's happening in any other city. So that really bodes well for our future and the position of Eagle Mountain as we move forward. Anything else we want to add to that, Paul?
Yeah, just to your point, the traffic patterns have been switched, have been reversed because of that construction with Facebook and others, and that is actually driving some of the retail growth that we are seeing right now, around the Macy's and the city center here. That has been fast-tracked because there's so much more traffic coming into the city. So there is a benefit there, and we know that these partners of ours are very well connected to helping the schools and the community in other ways right now as well.
Yes, and to your point, other mayors have mentioned to me that where their cities are associated along I-15 and they're tied into the campuses, they have a large workforce that are looking to come to Eagle Mountain, to be employed in Eagle Mountain because of the jobs that are being created here, and thus switching up those traffic patterns. And those are really important as we look to the state for more funding for those projects like 73
Yes.
and others. So as this recipe comes together and creates the critical mass so necessary for these improvements and for these funding, we look forward to that coming together as we move forward. So, well, thank you again, Paul, for being with us, and we'll look forward to more updates and further conversations. So, thank you for joining us.